Hey guys, as we watch this video right now, the real estate market has changed. I'm getting calls every day from agents across the country who are unsure of what do I do now? Everything's changed. It's different than it was last year. It's different than it was last month. What am I doing now? And they're starting to panic. This video is my response to those calls. Hi, I'm Mikesh, and I share proven tools and strategies that I use to grow and scale my real estate business and become a top producer in my market. In this short video, I'm going to show you 5 simple things that agents can and should do right now in this market. Number 1, you've got to be the expert. People are searching out expertise now more than ever because consumers are scared, they're nervous, they're listening to the news, they're worried about a recession, they don't know what to do. So they're seeking out, can this agent help me? And are they the expert? So in a market like this, you'll find that loyalties go out the window. They don't care if their neighbor's a realtor, if their friend's a realtor, if their family member's a realtor. They're gonna look for the best, and you've gotta be the best. And I think when it comes to being the expert or being the best, there's 3 things that you can be doing right now if you're not getting traction or you're looking for your next deal. And if you were not busy like you wanna be right now, I'd say first and foremost, start with this. Tour 5 of the best properties that are either on the market or better yet, that recently came to market in your market every single week. What does that mean? That means searching MLS, getting set up on notifications. You should be physically going into 5 properties at a minimum in your market every single week. Now, this may sound easy. You may already be doing this. You may be working with enough buyers and you're really just hey, my business is down. But I would hedge a guess that many of you that are watching this right now aren't getting in at least 5 properties, and you're never gonna become that expert in your market. So get into these properties, shoot video when you're at these properties, highlight what you liked and don't like about those properties, send that information out to your database of all the buyer leads you're working with, as long as it's relative to price points and areas that they're looking in. Look at a wide range of price points so that you can become the expert, and then come back and compare what you saw in person to what else is on the market. Ask yourself, if you were in that market for a property like that, would that be the one you buy? By doing this, you're gonna start to get that market knowledge that you can't get any other way. You literally can't become an expert in real estate by sitting behind a computer or by reading in a book. You have to actually get out there and touch and feel these properties. The next thing I would do to become an expert I would study the market data that's most relative. So, what are those key market data points that you need to be aware of? Days on market, inventory, how many homes are for sale in your market? I was sitting down and talking to an agent the other day, and he's number 1 in his market, and he was showing me, he's like, John, these are all the areas that we do business in, and here's how many active properties are in each one of those areas. And in many of those areas, many of those cities, it was single-digit numbers. So it was 5 homes or 9 homes or 7 homes. There wasn't even 10 plus homes for sale in that market. You have to know that, because that's all gonna be relative to price, what you can offer, and your expertise in knowing that market. Also, what is the list price to sale price ratio? As you become more familiar and you study these numbers, when those numbers are going up, you know that the market's doing well. If those numbers are going down, it's because there's not enough activity and the market's not doing well. So these are numbers that you just have to become familiar with. And then the third thing I would do to really get an expertise in your market and be able to communicate that expertise is I would get a tool, something that gives you nationwide market data that you can really just get into and bite down chunks. And that would be something like Keeping Current Matters. I've been a longtime user of Keeping Current Matters. Every single month, they bring real data, real facts, not opinions, to the marketplace, and they show us what's going on a national level. It's important that you have that national perspective as you go into your local markets, because this is the majority of the data that your consumers are going to be exposed to. And it's going to help you understand what's the truth line through all of that, because doom is gloom, and the news sells the gloom, and they get more attention when it's bad news. So news is always pumping out, oh, an impending recession, oh, this is the market's crashing, all of these things that may or may not be true, and in most cases are not true, or at least not entirely true. And this Keeping Current Matters data that you're going to get is going to show you what's actually happening in the marketplace, what's actually happening with interest rates, and you're going to have that nationwide perspective that when you apply it to the local market knowledge that you'll build by doing the first 2 steps that I said are really going to help set you apart, because sometimes the only thing you get is a conversation, and you need to be able to position yourself as the expert in that conversation. And if you're not doing this kind of work, you never will be able to do that. The second thing I would do if I was an agent right now is I would focus. I would pick one thing, What's one thing that you're gonna do and you're just absolutely gonna crush it at? You know, when I was going through the last recession in 2008, the thing I picked was expireds. And I just said, I'm gonna be the best solution for any seller whose house didn't sell. I'm gonna come in there second. I'm gonna tell them what they need to hear, not what they wanna hear. I'm gonna have the marketing horsepower behind it. I'm gonna have a CMA that's super robust so that they can see what their home's really worth. And I'm just gonna crush expireds. I think that singular focus and developing a USP around that singular focus. So for me, it was expireds. I would go in there and say, hey, I'll sell your home in 39 days or less. And this was a terrible environment in 2008. Most homes were selling in well over 100 days. And I was saying, hey, I'll sell your home in 39 days or less, or I'll pay you $4,000. And that was a whole program that we devised with a unique selling proposition or USP around it. And it really helped us get traction in that difficult market. So, you know, what is one thing? Maybe for you, it's luxury buyers. Like, be the best at luxury. What actually works in luxury? What are marketing initiatives and successes that people are having in luxury right now? How are you getting proper exposure to your property? And the way to do that is just to really dive in and focus. So that's what I would do. I would pick one thing. I would actually be super committed to it. I would have unique selling propositions all around it, and I would market those unique selling propositions to that one thing. The third thing I would do as an agent right now is I would determine what are my KPIs. Those are key performance indicators. So how do I know if I'm doing a good job, if I'm on track for my goals or not? So, you know, if I'm going out there and I'm becoming an expert in the market and I've now picked one thing, according to that one thing, what are the numbers that I have to track and own religiously? So back to my example of doing expireds during the last recession, you know, I tracked how many listing appointments am I going on? How many listing appointments am I getting? How many listings do I have? And how many of those listings are under contract? Those 4 key pieces of data kept me on track. And if I didn't have enough listings, I knew I needed more appointments. If I had a lot of appointments and I wasn't converting those appointments, I knew something was off in my messaging. So if you can limit it to the most important things to get your result, then you can become a student of those things, and you can have these different signals or warning signs to help you know if you're on track or not. Hey, if you're hitting the appointments and everything's great and you're getting the appointments and you have the appointments and you're getting the listings but they're not selling, okay, you're not getting the listings at the right price. And you'll always know exactly what you need to work on in order to get better. But again, it's that singular focus that'll allow you to develop those really crisp KPIs that are gonna help you have success and get traction in any market. The fourth thing that I would do if I was an agent right now is I would share the journey. So, you know, going back to what I said earlier about the news and people's perception, like, we're in a challenging market right now, and consumers, your clients, the people that you want to do business with, they know the market's challenging. So if you're sharing the journey, and that could be as simple as sharing about homes that you're actually visiting, you're sharing those on social media, you're highlighting what you like or don't like, you're saying, hey, if you know anybody that is interested in a home like this, I think this is a great buy, here's why, here's how I see it relative to the market, reach out to me. So you're inviting people to do business with you. You're also sharing the journey of your successes. You can do that in your print marketing. You know, if you're gonna farm an area, say, you can have some success testimonials on there about people that you help actively, currently, right now. Right now is key. And also sharing that on social, and also sharing that with your database. So, you know, having conversations with your database, whether that's in print form, in email communication, and also calling. Like, you should be calling your database of past clients, sphere of influence people you know, and share those stories of your success. That will offset, and it will be a paradigm shift to their current, you know, opinion of the market and what's going on. They'll say, wow, despite the market, which is probably in their mind worse than it actually is because people watch the news, they'll be like, this person's having a ton of success. You know, I remember when I was in the middle of the 2008 to 2009 crisis, and I was getting an adjustment in my chiropractor's office, and she was like, hey, how's it going? And you could hear in her voice that, like, she was concerned for me, she cared about me, she was worried about me. And I said, well, you know, it's going pretty good. I got 10 closings on Friday. And it was like, what? 10 closings? Yeah, on Friday. Now, 8 of them were short sales, and it was a total nightmare, but that was beside the point. You share the successes of what you're going through. And by sharing those successes, you tell the world, the people around you, that you're a safe choice for them to have because you're having success. Evidence of success is critical. Now, the fifth and final thing that I would do if I was an agent right now is I would join a mastermind. You can't be an island on this. You can't be expected to figure it all out and go through the highs, the ups and downs, and everything that's happening to you and your business right now all alone. It doesn't make sense to do it that way. Get around other people. Get around people who are winning. Get around people who are going through what you're going through and figuring out ways to overcome it. That's what masterminds have always done for me, and that's why we're so committed to masterminds. Now, we run a large organization. We have thousands of people that get on a mastermind with us. We invite them to that mastermind every week, and we share the best practices. Hey, what are people doing that are listing a lot of homes right now? What are people doing that are working with buyers in low inventory markets? And we share our best practices, we share all our tools, we share all our secret recipes for things that we're actually getting results in this market. Being around a mastermind, I couldn't imagine not having had that exposure and that support group around me when we went through the last recession. Matter of fact, that expired program I talked about earlier, it was in a mastermind where I got one piece of marketing, the 39 days or I'll give you $4,000 ad, that led to just tons and tons of closings and led me through that recession and allowed me to build a thriving company because of it. So get into an environment where you can win. Mastermind settings are a great place, and if you're not already in one, I'd highly recommend that you find a group of people to be in. If you want to be in ours and learn more about what we do, feel free to reach out to me. We'd love to help you with that. All right, guys, so this video is done right now intentionally for a reason. If you're struggling, I hope this gave you some insight and some help, and we want to help you. So if there's anything else we can do, feel free to reach out to us. We're going to be dropping our next video, which is going to be the same topic, 5 simple strategies that'll help you right now, but for team leaders. Because I know a lot of my broker friends and independent broker owners are reaching out and calling me right now because they don't know what to do. This market's got them baffled, and our next video is gonna tackle what do you do if you're a team leader. So watch that one next. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate your time.